Hello, my darlings. Welcome to or welcome back to Marie and Kay Tarot. I hope you're well. Happy New Year. I know I said Happy New Year last week, but it feels like I should. Okay, so this is going to be a week ahead reading for the week commencing the 5th of January until the 11th of January. And essentially this is like the back to work week, as I like to think it, after the holidays. The holidays are finished. It's when kind of January properly kicks in for me anyway. And with that in mind, I know that in my last video, if you caught it, my wee kind of ramble, my wee kind of blather through things, I said that I was going to be putting a deck from my TBR jar. Needless to say, that has not yet happened yet. So I thought, right, what card can I put in? Can I put into the mix, or what deck can I put into the mix? I can't even speak. And I thought, well, you know what? It's January. It's a numerically year one. It's a 10-1 year. So why not start off the year by using my very first tarot deck? And if you don't know what that is, it is the Dragon Tarot. And this is the actual deck. Okay, well, the box of the deck, I've got the deck in my hand. Now, what's interesting is when I was getting this out the box, it's a top box, and amazing that it survived like over 20 years, like a long time. Probably closer to 30 years, but we don't talk about that. And what was really interesting was the cards were reluctant to come out the box. I had a bit of difficulty actually getting them out the box. And I don't know if that's kind of some form of foreshadowing for this week. Where we might be feeling a bit sluggish, we might be feeling a bit kind of, oh, I cannot be bothered, or it's like if we've been off over the holidays, it's like getting that motivation back into us, that back into a routine, particularly if your sleep patterns maybe been off, maybe you've been like up later than you normally would and sleeping later. Definitely hi, that's me. And if you do that, then it can be really quite difficult to get back in. So let's see what energies we have got. Oops. For the 5th of January until the 11th of January. Even these cards, they feel quite heavy. It's interesting. Please excuse the bookcase here. It will obviously get filled up over the passage of time. I've just built it today. I'm very proud of myself. Fun fact, I thought I'd share it with you. Right, okay, let's see. What energies have we got this week coming towards us? Well, I should say about the astrology this week, it's very interesting. We've got two Kazimis happening this week, whereby Kazimi just means in the heart of, and it's in the heart of the sun. We're going to have Venus first of all, and then Mars happening as well, and it's happening in Capricorn. So interesting energies. Let's see what we got. Right, okay. Okay. At the bottom of the card, we have got the Death card. Okay. I will need to do something this year about my lighting and my camera. The Death card is shown. That's at the bottom of the deck. It feels very much where, we're still in that kind of that beginning period, we're in that beginning period of the year, and that's like the kind of rebirthing part of the Death card. I feel that's showing up for us this week. The cards proper, we have got the Five of Cups, we've got the Moon, and we have got the Nine of Wands. Okay, so really, yes, very heavy energy that's coming through to us, but also very emotional energy. We've got that dragon there, and I'll call it a loch, because it could be a river, or it could be like a lake. I'll call it a loch. And and that kind of a feeling that what have we lost? You know, what have we lost at the beginning of the week? Well, we've kind of, if we're just going back to work, we've lost a bit of our freedom. You know, the freedom to just wander about where we want, or stay in our pajamas all day if that's what you've been doing. We've maybe maybe over the holiday period, we might have lost people. We might have, we might be missing people, or we might have lost ourselves a little bit. If you're a parent, or if you've got like a lot of family around about you and you're not used to that, you could have maybe felt a bit lost during the holiday period, and this is just an acknowledgement of that fact. It's also a card of Scorpio, so it is talking again related to that death card. But as I say, we've got the moon showing up as well, and I absolutely love this moon card. I just love this deck so much. We've got the moon card here, and I feel like what the moon card is saying to us is, do you know what? There's going to be things that get illuminated this week. Maybe you're going back to your desk and you're going back into the office or whatever your workplace is, and you're like, all the things 2 weeks ago when you were maybe finishing up in December, it's like, oh, that sounds like a January problem. That's like a January issue. That's no a December issue. I'll deal with that when I get back. And now all the stuff that you've got is sitting there, and you're like, oh fuck, oh no, I need to do it. And you've got that kind of I always call it the Sunday night nerves. The Sunday night dread. It's like there comes a point in a Sunday, if you work with traditional 9 to 5, or whatever date, whatever day you go back to work after a few days off, you have that dread. It's like, oh no, what have I done? Or what somebody found out that I've done and I didn't realise I had made a mistake, something like that. It's that kind of back to work anxiety that shows up for us. Luckily, one of the joys of being self-employed is you don't get it as much, but you definitely do. I've had my out of office on my inbox for the holidays for the last almost 2 weeks, and I am dreading looking at my inbox. It'll be fine. I say optimistically, but that Piscean energy of the moon card, we're also just still coming off of that really intense energy of the full moon in Cancer in the 3rd of January, and that was deeply emotive. Water moons are always emotive, but especially the Cancer lunations, because the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. It's particularly challenging. A lot of things could have come up for you that you weren't expecting. Lots of emotions could have came to the surface that have maybe surprised you. So you're maybe still processing that over the course of this week. So there's a lot going on, as I say, in this week, but we have got this 9 of Wands here, and I feel like the 9 of Wands in this case it's an acknowledgement from the tarot to say, do you know what? Yes, it's been a rough few days. This is going to be a bit of a rough week, but there is points in the week that we can celebrate. Okay, so how do you celebrate it? What's fantastic is, if you're going back to work, you get the opportunity now to sit and design the year that you want. Okay, whether that's in your business, whether that is in your family life, whether that is in your personal life, or whether that's just for you. Me, myself and I. What is it you want 2026 to really look like? Are you going to be taking some time out to maybe do a vision board? Are you learning something? Are you going to take these steps to go and learn a new skill? Is there like, are you scrolling through social media and you see one of the alleged random adverts for something that the algorithm weirdly knows that it's what we want to see, and you maybe click on that link and you maybe think to yourself, this is the year that I'm going to do something for myself. Okay, Because if you are not feeling emotionally satisfied and you're feeling drained energetically, then we need to look at that. And what's interesting here is this is water and fire that's going on right now. It's very much that emotion and passion. You know, it's like we can love something very, very much, but if we don't feel passionate about it, then there's there can be a disconnect there. So this week, you know, pay attention to what really lights the fire under you. You know, what is it that you absolutely love and adore, that you think that could be the thing that ignites you, you know, ignites your passion and your zest for life. So have a think about that, as I say, and remember we do have that underlying energy of the death card, and I think that's a really potent expression of what's going on this week. As I say, we have got a Venus Cazimi and we have got a Mars Cazimi, both in Capricorn. Now, of course, it's going to be, you know, about we're kind of our possessions and we're physical autonomy, but it's also the cosmic lovers. You know, never forget, you know, Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. So it's like when they're close to each other, what is going on? You know, what house in your astrology chart does Capricorn show up in? Where can you see that direct link to your life? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, by all means reach out and we can book a consultation and we can do a birth chart reading. Okay, or we can do a tarot reading. It's entirely up to you. The details will be in the box below, the description box below. Okay, my loves, have a great week. We'll survive it. We'll be okay. And 2026, let's be having you. Okay, my loves, take care. Bye bye.